Alright, what's up YouTube? Addicting Air here. Back with another video. Look at me. 2 in a row. Anyway, today I'm gonna do something crazy, okay? Since there's nothing to do, for the sake of argument, and I'm willing to die on this hill for this argument, I believe, alright, that these dogs are actually easier. I think as demonic beasts have gone through, they've actually become easier. And I'm gonna make this point in this video, and people are gonna start yelling at their screen. But hear me out, all right? Hear me out. I have a perfectly good explanation for why I'm saying this. All right. I think that these dogs are actually easier for the time they release than the bird did back in the day. So first, let me provide the bird's point of view. So you're like, why listen to me, right? I'm just a small YouTuber. I don't really make videos. Why do I care, right? So I was like, okay, I'll pull up the most, the biggest name in all of, Grand Cross. We'll go with Nagato, right? August 26, 2021. Basically Impossible, my first demonic beast battle completion, all right? And he goes through, I believe, stage 1 and 2 in this fight. Let me see here. Yeah, he goes through floor 1 and 2, and he finishes them. No one was able to beat floor 3. Nobody, even with Brunhild, the main unit, or basically the unit built for this bird, people were not able to beat it. August 26, 2021. Alright, now watch this one. I finally did it. Floor 3. October 22nd. August. September. October. Almost 2 months after he did floor 1 and 2 only, he was finally able to beat floor 3. And this was with Matrona. Matrona, remember, came out late October. And, she was basically the unit for it. Basically, you had to have a very high level Brunhild, high ult level Brunhild to be able to beat Bird, right? When it first came out. But now with Matrona, you could get away with like a 1-6 Brunhild and it was easy. Matrona basically made it farmable. Not farmable, but she made it doable with the correct passives. 2 months. It took 2 months. Now let me show you an example for the dogs, right? Nagato again, because don't blame me. Don't take my word for it. Take someone else's. June 30th. What is this? The hardest boss in history, right? Hardest boss in history, right? So he does floor 1, I believe. I think he finishes floor 1 in this video, right? Now, July 1st, the most BS difficult boss in history. Floor 3 completion. July 1st. It took him, what, 5 days maybe? To be able to go from, not even 5 days, 2 to 3 days to be able to go from floor 1, or be able to do only floor 1, to be able to be floor 3. While it took in Bird, it took 2 months compared to 2 to 3 days. Alright, now I'm not saying the actual difficulty of the boss is harder, because obviously the dogs have more health, higher stats, do more damage. I'm not saying right now if you jump into Bird versus the dogs, you're going to have an easier time on the dogs because they're easier. No, I'm saying for the time the dogs are releasing, you're able to do floor 3 when it released. When the bird came out, you are the most, I would say Naruto is probably the most famous whale in the YouTube community. He was not able to beat the bird floor 3 for 2 months. This is our biggest whale in the community, right? This was truly impossible. Not having Matrona, before Matrona on this bird, it was insanely difficult because your only options for taunting were Green Small Diane, and that's pretty much it. There was no such thing as Festival Diane. There was no such thing as Matrona. Those things didn't exist. You could also cheese it and run the 1 and hit 2 damage caps back to back. That was super RNG heavy because you didn't have a Festival melee or something to, help you out in that damage regards. There was no card sets. There was a card sets, but there wasn't the 20% card sets we have now. So what I'm trying to argue is that this bird was actually more difficult, believe it or not. I believe that this bird was harder on release than these dogs are now. All right, now people are gonna say, but you need 6 festivals for these dogs. to even have a chance to do floor 3. And I agree with you. But I also want to say, what, you think Nagato didn't have 6/6 pretty much every unit at the time when he did the bird? He did. He had just as a whale to count as he did, a year ago from now. And he still struggled for 2 months until he did the floor 3. Now people are doing floor 3 on the first week. Now let me show you the teams that you can use. Back in the day, you had maybe slight variants. Maybe you could use Blue Dairy on Bird. Maybe you could use something like, I don't know. You could use Green Small DN. You could use Blue Dairy if she was a decent ult level. You could use the 1, but then you wouldn't get really past floor 3. But look at this. Now, shout out to my boy Tony because I can't find these tweets, right? This is for floor 3. Now, yes, it's all the new unit. Just like, we kind of needed Brunhild back in the day to pretty much do it. She was a crutch, basically. Just like how this Sun guy is now. But look at all these variants and teams. You got Green Liz, Festival Gother, Festival Deanne, the 1. These are all units that everyone have. Green Arthur. This is by far and away easier. If you told me there was 6 teams able to beat it in the first week of Bird releasing, I took a break from the game when Matrona released. I missed Matrona when she came out on her original banner, and I didn't get to summon on her. I went through hell to be able to do Bird every week without Matrona, because it was just pure RNG with small Deanne, because my Blue Dairy was like 1/6. It just wasn't cutting it. So, my Brunhild wasn't 6/6 either. She was maybe like 1/6. So every time I ulted, I would maybe heal like 10% health. It just wasn't ideal. But now, look at all these options you have. This is floor 3. I mean, I think he goes on to floor 1. Does he? Let's see. This is floor 1. Green Valenti, Green Arthur, Scotty, like a full goddess team, just a pure goddess team, is winning you floor 1. I mean, yeah, floor 1 you could do in Bird pretty easily as well, but floor 3? To be able to have this much variance is actually quite insane. Just the fact that you can beat it in the first week of release is nuts. And people keep saying this is harder, and it is harder. The stats of the dogs are higher, and you are required to have unit 6/6 like you did back in the day. But it's kind of more geared towards units we have now. We didn't have Dark Melly back in the day. We didn't have Light Liz. We didn't have Festival Deanne. We didn't have... I believe we didn't have Fest Gother when it released. Our best unit was Margaret, and even she was mid at best because she had an AoE that was kind of dead in all PvE content. So I think nowadays the demonic beasts are more geared towards the newer festival units and the power level of the new festival units compared to back then, where it was like, man, it's just Brunhild and then just Halloween Matrona, I guess, which is, I mean, her banner was a step up, right? And she was accidentally put on the Gother banner, which was great for people. But I mean, a lot of people skip that, just like a lot of people are deciding to skip on this Freyr guy right here. But to conclude, right, I guess I'll put this at the end here because I'm not going to make a should you summon video because I don't think that's dumb. It's up to you, man. If you want to do the boss, summon. If you don't want to do the boss, skip. That's pretty much my thought process behind it. There will be a specialized unit for this, maybe. All right, they could pull off some shenanigans where it's like, oh, if you have this new guy on your team with the other new Ragnarok unit, you get double the stats or something stupid, right? You don't know. Netmarble can do absolutely stupid things. They could lock it behind, races. They could lock it behind the color. They have anything goes. They could say, if you have a dark and a light unit on your team with the new Ragnarok unit, plus 50% all stats. You never know. Or with debuff immunity, because people are mad that this RNG factor is just random freezing. Which, the only way to fix that would be debuff immunity, or just having units that are more consistent, even if they get frozen. Or if they get debuffed, the whole team gets a buff. Something like that. But I think that's pretty much it for this video. Just a quick little 10-minute video on why I think Bird was actually harder for when it released than the dogs are now for when they release. Please don't yell at me. I put up a good argument. I believe I put up a good argument, and I will see you all in the next video.